Hello and welcome back to Good Game Nation, where we bring you all things TCG. My name's Preston, and I'm bringing you the news today. This week started out pretty slow, but we really just got everything right at the end of the week. So let's jump right into Twitter. We're going to start with the 1-year anniversary set announcement. The Twitter, I don't think, did this quite as good justice as it should have, and honestly, the main website didn't either. They're not giving us all the information quite just right up front, so we're going to go through a few different ways of looking at this. The first anniversary premium set is going to be sold on the Premium Bandai website. Hopefully we get them in stores also here in the US. This is all on the Japanese side so far. Contents is saying is 3 types of special promos. We'll get to those, not pictured here. Rubber playmat, 2 types of sleeves, 100 each, which is pretty cool to get a lot of sleeves for this set. And then 1 case. Not sure if this is just the matte box or something, but the 3 cards are the ones that we voted for previously in the year. So this is our Otama, our Makino, and the Marco. We finally got them, which is great. The art styles on each of them is pretty unique, compared to each other at least, and they're incredible. Otama's super cute, the Makino looks incredible, and Marco looks just so jacked. It's crazy. Just quick close-ups at what we have here. Sleeves, the boxes. Really excited about this product. So far I've seen that it's really expensive, $75 to $100 or something like that, so it's a pretty premium thing for sleeves and boxes. Most likely a more premium cardboard deck box, but I think what most people are going to be looking for is the mat and these promos. So it's really exciting to finally see the alt arts. We'll see if the US gets the same alt arts. I know that Otama was voted for in the West as well. Moving on, we also got the announcement here. I believe we might have talked about it last week, but 2 deck boxes coming. Gorgeous Devil Fruit one and I think that's set 3 or 4 Luffy. Set 4 Luffy. Not super exciting, but it's coming. Devil Fruits and Luffy case, $8. Comes with the separator, for what it's worth. But we're just moving straight through all of this stuff. The next one, which is probably the most important for players here in the West, the English Bandai website finally addressed what yellow card effects are going to do in online play, which there's a lot more online regionals here, so they had to address how looking at your opponent's life is addressed. So the official ruling here for online play only is that your opponent will reveal it to everybody, so that game knowledge is for everybody. I don't know if I agree, but I also understand that it's almost impossible to ask your opponent to reveal a card to webcam and not show it to themselves. So for the time being, the Katakuri, I guess both Katakuris, Pudding, Mochi Power, any other effect that says look at up to one card from the top of your life cards, or your opponent reveals up to 1 card from the top of their life cards. So they're just going to reveal it. That means they get their game knowledge. I don't know how that's going to affect online play for yellow players. I think that it's a nerf for yellow. It's not the greatest thing that can happen for people that want to play yellow, but also when I was playing yellow, it's not often that I want to look at my opponent's life anyways. I'm getting that game knowledge for myself just on my side of the board so that I know if I need to move my own life around. So it's really a give or take on how you play this deck. It's possible that if you just played it for yourself and you did not look at your opponent's life, this is still totally fine, not a big deal. But just know that when you're playing online, and this is online only, if you're playing in person and at your locals, they will not get this card. It's not an errata, it's just what they're calling practical limitations of webcam tournaments. And it's true. It is a practical limitation. You can't not reveal. It's easier than having lots of arguments with judges over cheating, that they're checking their webcams while they reveal and gaining that game knowledge illegally in that sense. So it works. I think it's going to be okay. If you still want to play yellow and webcam, just peek at your own life. Don't dig into your opponents. Keep that game knowledge away from them. I think it's going to be okay. I think it's a big thing to come out and say before this set comes out. I don't know. I think it was very controversial, so I wanted to cover it. Kick it back to you guys. What do you think about this ruling? Does it affect how you play yellow? Were you thinking of playing yellow and now you're unsure? How do you feel about it? Let me know in the comments down below. Moving on to our last story, we got Orange Samurai posted the magazine leaks for set 10 or starter deck 10 that was in one of the Jump magazines. This is much more exciting, a lot less somber here. We got 3 Straw Hat cards. We're going to start with the craziest of them. This is Monkey D. Luffy, red character, 10 cost, 11k power, Straw Hat Crew. Rush. Once per turn, after your opponent activates Blocker, K up to one of your opponent's characters with 8k power or less. That's intense. On top of having Rush, which it probably needs since it's a 10 cost, it also once per turn can KO an 8k. That's insane. When I first saw this, I immediately sent the co-host here at GGN a message saying, Red's back on their bullshit. This is crazy. I think the rest of the cards are okay at best, but this is, I feel like, pretty crazy to be able to bait a block and KO an 8k or less. That's a huge threshold. And it doesn't even have to be the 8k blocker. It just says KO up to one of your opponent's characters with 8k power or less. That's crazy. And they're Straw Hats, so they're searchable with the Nami. We'll see how it gets played since it is 10 cost. It is quite ineffective when it comes to Dawn. You're going to be tapped out. But it might be all you need to have this on board and KO, at least like baiting out blocks and stuff like that. Moving on to the Jinbei. Jinbei, red character, cost 2, 2k power, Fishman, Straw Hat Crew, best combination of Jinbei we can get. Dawn ×1, when attacking, give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 2k power for this turn, counter 2k. When I read his effect, I feel like it's probably not going to get played. We have, I think, more effective minuses in red already. This one is searchable, but it's low. You have to attack with it, so you have to wait a turn. It's a low power amount, so there's that. But then it has 2k. And we'll have to weigh it against all of our other options with 2k combo. Will this be more effective than other 2k counters? We'll just have to depend on what deck you're building and what you want to do with that deck. Moving on to the last card that was revealed in the magazine, Sanji, red character, cost 6, 6k power, Straw Hat Crew. On play, if your opponent has a character with 5k power or more, this character gains Rush during this turn, counter 1k. This is an interesting Sanji. I like that Sanjis are getting Rush. One of our first Sanjis I was super excited about and never really came to anything was a Rush Sanji. But this one's a little bit stronger. This is a 6 cost 6k power that can gain Rush, which means you most likely aren't going to play it unless you can hit Rush. This is interesting because it's a pretty expensive 6 costs for only 6k power, but Rush, when you have cards in other colors, and even probably red that's 3 or 4 cost at 6k power, it might not be the most efficient use of your Dawn, but we'll just have to figure out and decide if Rush is worth those extra Dawn. I'm not quite sure. I do believe the Luffy is quite dumb, and we'll probably see a lot more play than the rest of these. But the rest of them are okay. I do think red's being ridiculous, giving us more Straw Hats. This is for the starter deck that's going to be red and purple with Law and Kid, as well as the Luffy that we saw a couple weeks back, I believe. So these could have been purple, and it would have been less annoying to boost maybe a Strawbeard. Most likely the Whitebeard is still better than this Luffy. But it's red getting Straw Hats, which is always dangerous. So we'll have to see how that plays out, probably 6 months down the line, maybe longer, since we're so far behind the Japanese release cycle. But they're good. I think these 3 cards that were revealed are quite interesting. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought was most interesting this week. Are you excited for the premium Bandai products? We flew through them early on in this episode. Do you think these deck boxes are cute? Is the yellow stuff just a terrible thing for this game? Let me know in the comments. I really want to know about that ruling for online play. But that's all I have for you today. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.